Member for Kundiawa-Gembogl.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker. Long looks have long. Me. Question to me go long, Minister of Foreign Affairs. On the 13th of January 2023 this year, BBC News reported that the nuclear power plant in Japan, Fukushima power plant, was going to dispose 1 million tons of nuclear waste into the Pacific Ocean. Now, I must congratulate the Fisheries Minister. He wrote to the Pacific Islands Forum to garner regional support so that they can take a regional position on this issue. Now, that's a violation of the International Convention in 1972, the London Convention for international actors not to dispose nuclear waste into the ocean. Now, the Pacific Ocean is host, especially the Western Pacific Ocean, is host to about 1/3 of the world's tuna stock. And we are host to also marine biodiversity that has a lot of value when it comes to blue ocean and blue carbon trade. We also know that the fisheries industry in this country contributes more than 1 billion kina into the government coffers so that we can implement our national budget. So my question to the Fisheries Foreign Affairs Minister is that, is he progressing any bilateral talks with the authorities in Japan so that they can stop the irresponsible behavior that they propose to undertake? Thank you.
The Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the member for this very important question. Last year in APEC, I had a personal meeting with the Foreign Affairs Minister of Japan, and this question was raised by me to him on behalf of Pacific Island leaders, as well as our country as well, to find out what the situation is with the nuclear or the radioactive water that they plan to release into the Pacific Ocean. He guaranteed that the radioactive water was perfectly treated and could be drunk as normal drinking water, and said that he will ensure that there was no radioactivity in this water at all. Now, that was from that meeting. Then our Prime Minister also had a meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan, and also received a letter from the Japanese Prime Minister stating the same, but has delayed the releasing of this radioactive water into the Pacific until further notice. So the situation is that if they do release this water, there's a couple of options. If they do release this so-called free of radioactive water into the Pacific, firstly, it will affect the people of Japan first. Then it will spread throughout the Pacific. Now, he guarantees the last thing he wants to do, the Prime Minister wants to do of Japan, is contaminate his own people. So after that, I presented the letter to the Pacific Islands Forum, where I represented the Prime Minister and Papua New Guinea at the Pacific Islands Forum retreat, which was chaired by the Prime Minister, outgoing Chairman, the new Fijian Prime Minister, Honourable Rambuka. We brought up this subject matter, and it was agreed that more consultation had to be done. The Pacific Islands Forum leaders, of course, have had experience in this nuclear activity, radioactivity, especially in Micronesia and those other countries. And as of to date, from the agreement from the Pacific Island Forum leaders, is that we will continue to fight to not allow for this nuclear or radioactivity contaminated water to be released, and look at other alternatives that would be better off for the benefit of everyone for the long term. So, yes, member, we have been in consultation at the highest level with the Japanese authorities, with our own Pacific leaders, with also world leaders when we had the ministerial forum as well, with Australia, on this issue of the radioactivity water being released. At this point of time, it is on hold until further negotiation, and we hope for common sense prevails, that an alternative is found out for the benefit of not releasing this radioactive water into the Pacific, so it contaminates our fisheries and affects our people greatly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.